Lokal. Radio.
Hi everybody! We are officially pushing out Tunog Lokal ngayon and sobrang excited namin ni Pam today because we finally have Zack Tabudlo on the show with us and we can't believe it because right now it's officially happening for us. Zack is here with us and he can hear us already. Kinikilig kami a little bit here.
What a little bit?
A little bit. Hindi wag pang ano lang yun, pang cover lang. Pero sobrang intense talaga inside. But yes, we do have Zack Tabudlo with us on the show. And hi, Zack, how are you?
Hi guys. Hello. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, good. And we are so excited. This is actually the first time we are doing Tunog Lokal. So ito yung buena mano namin. So
Wow.
salamat talaga for making
Thank you
time
po.
for Joe and Pam
Yes.
and for Q.
Yes,
Of
salamat
course.
talaga for coming by
Thank
sa
you
show.
guys. Alam nyo,
Yeah.
yung voices nyo, you guys sound the same.
We do?
You guys do sound the same.
Oh,
Especially
talaga?
kanina. Especially kanina when you guys said hi. As in, sabay na sabay kayo. I thought, I don't know.
Pwede na
Really
tayong
cool.
gumawa. We sound good together.
So pag absent yung isa, pwede mag-double body yung isa para ano,
Oo.
para okay pa rin.
Pwede. Yeah.
Kidding. But yeah, congratulations pala sa songs that you have been putting out recently. And it's been crazy na nababaliw na lahat ng fans mo online, TikTok, kami. Nababaliw na kami here. Congratulations, by the way. And we also saw yung post mo on Instagram about your silver play button. So, kamusta naman? Ano naman pakiramdam having to have that play button with you already?
Right. So, sobrang overwhelming na. Kasi, I don't know, I didn't really expect to have such a big growth in my YouTube channel all of a sudden. Kasi parang ina-expect namin ng dad ko actually, it would take years pa to get to where I am today. And I guess the stars aligned for me. I'm very blessed and, it's such an opportunity na ang daming nakinig talaga ng songs ko. And now, Binibini and my other songs are in the charts, especially Binibini is in number one, I think, in the Philippines right now. And sobrang thankful ko talaga. And yeah, with the whole YouTube thing talaga, all of a sudden siya eh. We were expecting nga na parang after a month pa dadating yung play button, pero it arrived earlier. I think it took only a week, and then I got it na. Yeah, really cool.
That was really quick and kasing bilis din siya nung pagdami ng followers
Mm-mm.
mo on YouTube. So we did hear that. It's like 500,000 already.
Grabe.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost 500,000.
Galing. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
also, we want to know kasi, having to be in the musical industry for quite a while now, we want to know kung paano mo na-figure out yung sarili mong style. Kasi, as an artist, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of influence, local and foreign musical artists. But we want to know kung paano ka, how you got to sit down and, okay, this is my style already.
Right. So, well, with in terms of the sound that I make, because I'm the producer and the engineer of everything that I write as well. Um, it took a while actually. It took years to get to the sound that I have now. Nakipagtrabaho muna ako with a lot of producers here in locally, like Sir Benny Saturno and his son Clang Saturno. We got producers in Sonic State Studios, so Chris Anthony Vincent's, Brian and Jonathan Ong. And then I got to work with producers internationally as well in the US. After Platinum Studios, I got to work with them for quite a while. I was a ghost producer for them, so wala akong credit talaga. It's more of making demos, writing songs, doing melodies, producing for them, and releasing them for other artists in the US. And then just collaborating with a lot of artists kind of like gave me this foundation on where I can step on in terms of my style. And because of that, yung parang old school style ng Pinoy, like the OPM hits made by Sir Benny Saturno or his son and sila Chris Anthony Vincent of Sonic State. They did some songs too na nag-hit, and that kind of like old school type of OPM original production and combination of the US thing that I worked on for months, and it kind of like mixed dun sa style ko right now in terms of production and how I do my music. But in terms of singing and everything else, I can get very versatile because I work with lots of producers with different styles and different genres as well. So that kind of helped me, I guess, be more flexible in terms of how I create my music, so I don't get really stuck in one style lang or one genre. And yeah, and when I make an album, maybe in the future, I get to like make tracks na iba't iba yung style niya and sounds.
It's good that yung parang yung old, like you were mentioning, the old school style, na parang medyo inadapt mo pa rin siya, and it's not just all the
Right,
new stuff. Kasi diba, there's just something about yung mga music from years ago, that sound that parang nakaka-miss ngayon.
definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Because it has greatly changed. But it seems like you've worked with a lot of very, very talented producers already. But may we know the artists, yung mga artists both in the local and in the foreign artists na naka-impluensya kay Zack? Sino-sino ba itong mga to? And who do you look up to?
Um, I normally listen to po talaga kasi through international and foreign artists talaga. But in terms of here locally, I've always listened to River Maya, old school bands like E-Heads and all that, iconic, I guess, hit makers back in the day. Internationally, I listen to a lot of Lainey, Justin Bieber, Charlie Puth, some old school type of alternative rock sounds then in the US like Vertical Horizon, Goo Goo Dolls, The Fray, and it's a mixture of everything else. So yeah, a lot.
And I know a couple of those artists, and I've been also a huge fan with some of the artists na minention mo a while ago.
Mm.
But we wanna try to transition lang on TikTok because the first time I personally heard your song was on TikTok naman because nagkaroon siya ng napakalaking fiasco on TikTok.
Right.
Everybody did their own covers, had their own memes. How does it feel na biglang nag-viral yung Binibini on TikTok?
Very overwhelming. Until now, I had no idea how that happened. I remember that day. I think it was a couple of days after Binibini got released. At first, kasi I think the noise happened with Nangangamba, and with that song, it was kind of released a few months ago, ba. And that day when I opened my TikTok, nagulat ako. May mga users on TikTok na yun nga, ginagamit yung sound ng nangangamba. So I was like, it was very unusual and very weird because I'm not used to that kind of, I guess, experience na I see people use my sound in TikTok. And then after a while, akala ko nung una parang it was just like a small group of people using the sound. And then napansin ko like every day pag open ko yung TikTok to check, I don't know, random videos, makikita ko sunod-sunod yung songs ko, nakangamba. And then Binibini got out as well. It got released a couple of days after. It went to number one on TikTok. So I was like, what? This is crazy. And then when I checked doing the sound, it's like this feature on TikTok in the bottom right. When you check the sound, it has hundreds and thousands of videos made in just a couple of days, and it's crazy, very overwhelming. I'm very blessed and thankful to all the TikTokers as well who use the songs. Yeah.
You know, your song Binibini also spent a couple of weeks part of our countdown. We have this countdown that happens every Friday. It's called Top of the Queue, yung top 3 songs for the weekend. For a couple of weeks, I believe Binibini was part of that list. So
Right.
great.
Cool. Thank you guys. Very
And
cool.
speaking of Binibini, paano ba nabuo tong kantang to? Totoo ba? Talagang nag-exist yung Binibini sa life ni Zack?
Yeah. I mean, hindi na siya, wala na siya sa life ko now, but it did happen before. So Binibini is about the peak of my relationship back then. I was in the peak of falling in love. She was actually a classmate of mine. We were friends and then eventually got together. I got the chance to court her and everything. But because of some parents' issues, kasi actually tinago ko yung relationship and my dad didn't know about it. So hindi sila boto dun sa nangyari. So eventually we needed to break up, and then the sad parts happened. And then yeah, she was the best love experience I've ever had as a teenager. She was my Binibini. Yeah.
Oh, sana marinig niya to.
Sana all ka-classmate mo.
Sana marinig niya to. But I think one of the best things that came from that relationship is this song.
Mhm.
Diba? Itong song na to na Binibini. Do you have is there a favorite line of yours from this?
I think my favorite line would have to be the chorus, which is isayaw mo ako sa gitna ng ulan, mahal ko. Kapalit man ito'y buhay ko.
Do
It
that.
actually symbolizes a lot of things. Kasi, to explain, ulan represents problems in a relationship. It doesn't matter about if it's relationships with partners or family. Pero ulan symbolizes problems. Dancing symbolizes the love. And dun nga with the lyrics, isayaw mo ko sa gitna ng ulan, kahit pa kapalit nito ng buhay ko. It shows na isasayaw kita sa ulan kahit gaano pa kadami yung problems natin, which is the ulan. And ako yung magsasayaw-sayaw sa dulo hanggang kahit ano mangyari, which is love yung sayaw.
Salamat sa pagpapakilig sa
Oo
amin.
nga. Salamat.
Ni Joe. Okay, so before we move on and play Binibini, there's a new song that you just released. And are these two songs somehow related?
Not really. They're very. I think the time gap is a lot. So I wrote Bini Bini around 2 years ago, I think already, and Hindi Ko Kaya is actually very recent. It was written, I think last year lang. I think late last year. So yeah, Hindi Ko Kaya is about more of like that parang after a breakup yun nga that's the thing, it kind of sounds similar because based dun sa nakwento ko, but it's very different. Hindi ko kaya is about the vulnerability of a person after a breakup. And kasi after a breakup, it all yung pride and everything, the ego goes up, and parang sinasabi niyo hindi na kita kailangan, but eventually you get to your vulnerable side and you miss that person, and alam mo yun, bababa yung parang pride mo and everything. You'll admit talaga sa dulo ng pag ikaw na lang mag-isa na mahal ko pa talaga siya and hindi ko kaya mawala siya. So that's about Hindi Ko Kaya. And Binibini is more focused on love and commitments and all that. So Hindi Ko Kaya is more of the breakup side of everything.
Yeah, masakit naman kung gaano naman yung parang pagka-in love dun sa pagka, what do you call this, kilig that Binibini gave us. I think that's, Hindi Ko Kaya has a totally different flavor. But before we get to, talking more about Hindi Ko Kaya, though hindi namin kinakaya to wait for that pa, to get more of that song, let's first take a listen to this verse that went really viral on TikTok. Take a listen to Binibini. It's Tunog Lokal with Pam and Joe and Zack Tabudlo right here on Q Radio.
Okay, if you guys just tuned in on the show, we're talking to Zack Tabudlo right here on Tunog Lokal rather. We're excited to play this for you guys, lahat ng mga songs niya. And we're so blessed right now kasi again, Zack Tabudlo is yung pinakaunang guest namin here sa Tunog Lokal. And we did talk about a little bit about Hindi Ko Kaya a little earlier. But, we want to know, how was your creative process creating the track? Because we know na you're very, parang a one-man team ka. We want to know how you were able to do that.
So Hindi Ko Kaya kind of started as an acoustic pattern actually. Normally I would be in the studio or somewhere else. Pero this time kasi this was actually made during the pandemic, so I was here. And normally a melody or a lyric would be stuck in my head, and that's how my creative process normally starts. And sometimes someone I would be here in the studio and I would be just messing around with some chords or some projects from before. That's the almost to start. But this time with Hindi Ko Kaya, I had my guitar with me, and then I was kind of like fresh from a breakup then at the time, and I started playing these chords just out of nowhere, and that kind of started it. Yung parang plucking start ng song, if you guys heard it na, that kind of started there, and then I was like, I needed to put more flavor to it, not just plain acoustic guitar, because it would sound dull and boring if it was just the acoustic. So I went here and started my electric guitar, started plugging some amps, and then I found this kind of doubler octaver. It's called an octaver. It's an effect where like the high octave of guitar or just a normal mid guitar sounding, it would add the high octave and the lower octave, so it would sound more thicker and more brighter. That's how it all started with that guitar, and then dun na nagka-flavor yung song until I got to, do drum patterns, did some elements of my own, and did some samples. Then sarili ko, like my vocals chopping off in like different sections of the song. And yeah, that's how it kind of started, and the lyrics just flowed naturally because I was fresh from a breakup. So
Mm. So we also want to know, when it comes to creating all of these songs na meron ka, meron bang mga araw or meron bang mga songs na, oh, itong particular na kanta na to, mas mahaba siya or mas matagal siyang gawin? And are there also songs na, uy, ang bilis ko lang nagawa to ah. Are there songs like that?
oh yeah, definitely. I've done lots of songs. I think my fastest song ever made now was around 10 minutes. That like lyrics alone and the melody alone. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I was I don't I'm not sure what the scenario was, but it was I think my very first ever released song. I can't remember the typo now, but yeah, it's out there. I've done a lot of fast created songs and then like demos. Like I did Nangangamba for just an hour. Yung pinaka
Wow.
first demo niya with the lyrics and instruments and everything else in just an hour. And there would be cases din na sobrang tagal matapos ng songs. I have like hundreds of projects on my library na isang taon na nandyan nakatambak lang. Never been touched na again. Um, Meron din mga months na tatapos, sometimes weeks. But yeah, normally my creative process kasi it only takes 1 week, especially when it's like in line with the new tracks that I'm doing right now compared to the old stuff I did. That's never gonna see daylight. But yeah, sometimes I open projects up then and they get restored, and that's how I make music then sometimes.
When you write songs, alin ba yung nauuna, the lyrics or the music?
Well, it really depends on the situation because sometimes it would be lyrics first. Like I said earlier, there would be like a line from a poem or a line from a movie that gets stuck in my head, and that's how I kind of get the concept down on a piece of paper on my phone. And sometimes it would be just bashing this piano beside me and coming up with different melodies already or different like chord progressions or even on the guitar. And yeah, it really depends on the situation. Sometimes it would be music, sometimes it would be lyrics.
Hmm. We did talk about earlier na Binibini comes from a personal experience. But for those who don't know, we want to know if Hindi Ko Kaya also comes from personal experience.
Yeah. It come from personal experience. Yeah, it was like I said, I was fresh from a breakup, and that's how I kind of got the ideas done on my head, and then I got to create the first demo and everything, and then like the style of the guitar, like I said earlier. But yeah, it did come from personal experiences. Yeah, don't look at me like that, guys.
We
Go
want
on,
more.
guys.
Gusto pa namin eh. We want to know more than that, Jack. Come on. But yeah,
Please
totally
don't.
respect that, man.
All right. So how are the plans of making a music video for this? What can we expect
Um,
from the music video
well,
for him?
it's a secret for now. There's something
Yo!
happening naman na. But yeah, I guess if I can like set expectations, it would be better than Binibini, if ever. Okay, but yeah,
Hmm.
everything's
We want to
like
know,
in the works
yeah.
right now.
We want to know though, what made you decide to go with the orange and lemons e-heads element on the track?
Right. So at the time of the breakup, like I said earlier, that I would normally listen to international songs, and I'm a big fan of Lainey, so like that's how like the kind of like go to breakup songs because I think Lainey's like the band for that. But this time I was listening to a lot of throwback songs then. So like Parokya and Edgar have lots of parang walang-wala na sa buhay type of vibe songs, and even the Huling El Bimbo kasi Huling El Bimbo is actually, and With a Smile was actually one of my favorite songs together with the person I was courting. I'm not gonna get into deeper detail, but yeah, E-Heads was kind of like a go-to soundtrack then for us. But yeah, with that, that kind of gave me, I guess, an inspiration and influence. At the time, because I was listening to those OPM bands like Orange and Lemons, like you said. So it has that kind of vibe, especially Orange and Lemons. Parang super easy melody to jive in, very bandang banda OPM style yung hindi ko kaya. So yeah.
Right. We want to know what's next for Zack Tabudlo.
Wow, what's next? Well, a lot of music, definitely a lot of music. If they can just get updates from my social media accounts, I guess. But for now, there's a lot of music cooking, and I just can't wait for everyone to hear it. Yeah, more music videos, more music, more content in the future, definitely.
And we are very excited to hear what you have in store for us. I mean, imagine in a couple of months pa lang there's Binibini and now there's Hindi Ko Kaya. We can't wait for your mga pasabog, your pang pakili for the second half of
Thank you so much.
2020. Hindi natin yung season. Oo. But before we end this, can we play a quick game?
Yeah.
Let's
Sige,
do it.
let's
Let's
natin
do it.
siya.
Okay,
GG.
game, cool. She's easy. Okay, so it's definitely time for the lightning round. Okay, super easy mechanics. All you have to do is choose from kaya ko o hindi ko kaya. Yeah, and so we're gonna give you a couple of segments or situations, and then you have to tell us kung kaya mo o hindi mo kaya. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Parang ayoko
I'm not
yung
ready.
lightning. Parang gusto ko siya mag-expound pa dun sa mga ano.
And why?
Oo,
Ganon.
and why.
All right, no, please. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Lightning round with Zack Tabudlo. First, second chances. Kaya o hindi ko kaya?
It depends. Oh my God, this is so hard. Hindi ko kaya na kaya.
Okay.
Galing.
Number 2, cheating. Kaya ko o hindi ko kaya?
Hindi ko kaya.
Hindi ko kaya.
Next, ghosting. Kaya ko o hindi ko kaya?
In the middle. Why are you guys putting me on the spot?
Gusto ko na wait, like your reaction made the two of us kind of want more from that.
All right,
But
it depends.
ayaw
Okay, it
ko.
depends. In the ghosting part, it really depends because sometimes there would be like very toxic stuff going on, and sometimes you just have to move on from that situation. Diba? Diba? I think you guys can agree. But yeah.
Yeah. So, dun tayo sa O. Okay.
Okay, safe.
Safe. Number 4, choosing love over career. Kaya ko o hindi ko kaya?
Oh my God. No. It's hindi ko kaya. I'm in a better place right now with just music. I don't want to focus on love muna. Future na. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hindi ko kaya. Okay. So I think love life takes a backseat place for now. Okay, last one, Zack. Marriage. Kaya ko? Hindi ko kaya.
No? Hell no! I'm 19. Come on, guys. Jeez. Hindi ko kaya. Oh my God.
All right. Thank you
Someday.
so much. Someday, yan, for sure. It's gonna happen
Yeah,
for
someday.
Zack. Yeah.
Ayan, thank you so much for your time,
you,
Zack.
guys.
We had so much fun. Obviously, sana ikaw din.
Yes, of course.
Salamat sa chikahan and
Yeah.
kwentuhan. But of course, before we let you go, let's tell everybody how we can find you. Yung mga hindi pa nila alam ba? And we don't know, we don't understand why though. But just in case, tell us where we can find you online.
Right. So you guys can check out my songs released under Island Records Philippines, which includes my viral singles, Nangangamba, Cruel, Sigurado, Binibini. Binibini and Nangangamba is actually in the charts right now, and Binibini is in number one in the Philippines. So I'm very thankful, and yeah, grabe kayo guys. So Binibini actually has a music video as well. It features Andre Brillantes and Seth Fidelin. I also have a song called Iyong Iyo. The song is inspired by the original song for a Thai drama, Let's Fight Ghost, and my new released single, Hindi Ko Kaya, which is also trending right now on YouTube. Um, yeah, it's out right now as well. It's all available on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and other digital streaming platforms. And of course, you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel, just search up Zack Tabudlo. For more updates, please follow my social media accounts with Zack Tabudlo and Island Records Philippines on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm also the Mixed Spotlight Artist of the month of May, so you guys can check that out very soon. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday with us and for being the very first guest namin dito sa Tunog Lokal. Hopefully, next time we get to see you in the flesh na and we get to parang enjoy at least a set from you because it would be, it would be such a treat to hear your
Yes.
music live. For now, though, we're
Right.
gonna have to settle to just playing your new song, which is doing very, very well. Again, Zach, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
again.
That's it
Thank you
for the
guys.
first, the first serving of Tunog Lokal with Pam and Joe here on Q Radio. We're ending it with this new song from Zack Tabudlo right here on Q.